Hey guys, it's me Haru, and welcome to episode 23 of SpyroCast. Today I have with me Abdul. Hello, how are you?
Hey, what's up, Miharu? I'm doing good. What about you?
I'm doing perfectly well. So, how about you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I just entered 21 years of my age, and I study IT security. I'm on my third year right now. And for my channel, I mostly use it as a hobby, pretty much. I just do random streams every now and then of Crash and Spyro.
Interesting. Yeah, I saw you did a, what was it, a 24-hour stream on New Year's?
Yeah, that was pretty tiring. It's very tiring. It was actually 27 hours, so I went
27, wow.
A little above over the limit, I gotta say. But it went surprisingly well. I almost fell asleep on Icy Peak, though, so that's a little notion to be aware of.
At least you're not like the guy who fell asleep during Majora's Mask and the moon crashed.
Oh, God.
God, that was such a funny video. So, tell us about your history with Spyro.
Oh, God. Oh, boy. Oh, jeez. That takes me back. That takes me back into Crash, actually.
Let it take you back.
It was back then when I was mostly a Crash kind of child, you know? I was like, Is there like a demo for this game? And then when I saw it on the internet, it was like, which one had the Spyro 3 demo again? Was it CTR or Bash?
It was, I think it was Bash.
Was it Bash? Yeah, it is Bash. But yeah, I think I was playing Bash or Crash 3, one of the two. But when I tried inputting a code for a demo, it just instantly put me to Spyro 3. And then, like, I think the demo puts you on Molten Crater with Firework Factory's music.
That's interesting.
That's still in my head so far. And like, I dug deeper into Spyro like 5-6 years later. So I just constantly played the first game, and I just immediately fell in love with the series. And until like 2018, like midsummer of 2018, I had zero clue about Spyro 2 and 3. So in summer of 2018, it was like my first time playing 2 and 3 all together, because prior to that, I only played Spyro 1 and Hero's Tale, because Hero's Tale is also my second favorite. I never played Enter the Dragonfly, so thank God for that.
Never played Enter the Dragonfly, huh? Well, you're not missing much.
The only thing I'm missing is the 2-minute game when you head bash into Ripto.
Yeah, that's what you're missing. 2 minutes of gameplay.
That's how you beat a game. But yeah, my history of Spyro is like, it's pretty solid, I gotta say. I tried speedrunning it like at some point in a few tournaments, and I would not say it went pretty well. Let's just keep it at that. I was pretty crap with Spyro. I loved it casually, but never in a speedrunning aspect.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a speedrunner either. I don't think I could do it with any game, honestly.
Yeah, although with Crash, like, I'm fairly solid with Crash, but like, when it comes to Spyro, it's just everything is so open world. I can't even get a grasp of where everything is, especially in Reignited, because you miss everything so easily now that the grass is very tall.
Yeah, I definitely have speedrunning tactics that I can use if I'm doing like a race in, especially in Spyro 1, I think, but it's just, I don't know all those, crazy things that people pull off, like the supercharge in Treetops where you don't have to do like the whole loop around and you just do the one supercharge. Like, I can't do that at all.
Oh yeah, I've always done that in the original Spyro 1, but in Reignited, I don't know why, it just doesn't seem to work for like 90% of the time. I tried it, even in the demo back then, because it was showcased here as well, in like Dubai or something, because that's like the closest thing to me to a gaming convention. And like, I don't know, it felt weird jumping. Then when it came to the release of the game, it worked pretty fine because they seemingly fixed the jumping and everything at the launch of the game.
Huh. Yeah, I guess I noticed some weird things with the supercharge when I saw the demo of it, but it looks like they fixed it because I didn't get to play the demo, but I did notice that the supercharge was way off. Alright, so what would you say your favorite Spyro game is?
I would say Spyro 3 hands down, pretty much.
Yes.
I would not see anyone's favorite game being Enter the Dragonfly. Like, that's a pure fact.
Right, of course.
There's probably some Super Saiyans out there somewhere that really, really like the game for God knows what reason, but I think it's a solid game that holds up to the original. And then you have like a completely open game like Hero's Tale. I liked Hero's Tale. I think it's a pretty solid game that reminisces the originals. And by that I mean Moneybags. It just keeps charging you for keys endlessly.
I don't know, Hero's Tale is more akin to a Jak and Daxter game than a Spyro game.
Yeah, I think that's what it reminisces a bit, you know? Because it's kind of like, it's kind of open world, but at the same time it's not. Because it doesn't have the entire portal mechanic, you know? It's kind of weird, but it's pretty solid, I gotta say.
The first Jak and Daxter game, at least.
I only played, like, the first Jak and Daxter. What was it, Precursor Legacy?
Yep.
And then I only played the Daxter game on PSP at the time. I still have the UMD disc, funnily enough.
Huh. I've never played that game. Oh, because I never had a PSP. But I heard it was... well, I've heard mixed things about it.
I'd say it's a pretty solid game. It's like a bug extinction kind of game. Or like extermination. I don't know. I would say, like, since you're a rat yourself, aka Daxter, I'd say, like, you know, I think it reminisces a bit of Sparks, doesn't it?
In a sense, probably.
I think that's partially why Spyro 3 is, like, my favorite. And, like, with Reignited as well, I really don't know why people really loathe the speedways.
I hate speedways.
Why, though? Because I saw one of the comments at the time in a previous podcast. Because, I don't know, just everyone seems to loathe the speedways in Reignited, because the turning is, like, so hard.
Well, yeah, in Reignited, definitely the speedways are a lot weirder. I think the flying controls are a lot weirder for some reason. The turning's weird. It seems like you're flying faster. It just seems like you have less control in Reignited.
It also makes, like, a few challenges very, very difficult, I gotta say.
Yeah, and mostly the Icy Speedway, the ring challenge thing. God, for some reason that was insanely difficult in Reignited. It's not supposed to be that difficult.
And then you know why Hunter has all the orbs.
Yes, and now I understand why.
I would say, like, my favorite speedway, out of all 3 games, I would say that, you may hate me for this, but Wild Flight from Spyro 1 and Harbor from Spyro 3.
I understand Harbor Speedway. I cannot understand why anyone would like Wild Flight. I can do it in one try now because I finally got the path down, and I've practiced it enough to where I know how to do everything in one go, but it's still not very fun.
Yeah, I agree. It's quite fun, especially in Reignited, but it doesn't help if you crash so easily.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is you have to fly really close to the water in order to go faster, because that was always the thing. Like, fly low, go faster, but fly too low, hit the water.
But yeah, I would say, like, in terms of favorite game of all time, I would say Spyro 3, because it just has so much to it, you know?
It really does, and that's why I like it too.
Yeah, I would say, like, my favorite level in Spyro 3 is Fireworks Factory, hands down. It's just so good, no matter what. That's
understandable. Fireworks Factory is the most memorable level. Not my favorite, but well, it is one of my favorites though. I love the music, I love the aesthetic, and I love that Double Dragon challenge. In the original, I love that challenge. In Reignited, those dragons are a lot more aggressive, and it's very annoying.
Yeah, because in like the original, they don't attack until like you hit them a few times until they reach half health or something. But in Reignited, as soon as you start, they just bomb rush you.
Yeah, I know. They're just wailing on your ass like the whole time. And like, the problem is like, once you get hit, it's really hard to recover. Like sometimes I'll get hit and then I'll, press X to try to recover, but it doesn't register until I fall and then I'm like, oh, I hit the lava, I'm dead already. Like, I can't believe I actually died on that. I've never died on that challenge before until in Reignited.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
Like, just, oh my god. I can't believe they did that to one of my favorite challenges. It's just like, it makes me upset because I'm like, no, I liked this challenge, why would you do it? And then all the other challenges that, I originally found annoying, some of them are actually better in Reignited.
And then you see the lava lizard challenge in Spyro 2 cut down heavily.
Yeah.
Because it being hard is what made it notorious in Spyro 2.
Yeah, I found that rather easy as well.
Yeah, but well, even in the original?
Definitely not in the original, but in Reignited I found it easier.
Because there's like a small window where they stand, like the lava lizards stand still, and then the animation plays where they eat the cavemen. In the original, as soon as they arrive to them, they instantly eat them.
Yeah, definitely. You're right. It is a notorious challenge. It did make it on my list of top 5 worst orb challenges.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
So I definitely remember it. But other ones I found weren't so bad, like, what was it? I didn't have that much trouble with the trolley.
It's quite notorious. He does do the voice pretty well. It's very, very reminiscent of the original.
Yeah, they do it in a way, to, like, you... How do I say this?
Hate it even more, essentially.
I suppose. They do it in a way where, like, you know that it's become a meme, basically.
I mean, they did post it on the Spyro Twitter as well.
Yeah. He says it in the way that sounds like a meme.
It does pretty much. Yeah, I would say, like, regarding the entire Spyro franchise, up until, besides Enter the Dragonfly, I've never played the Legend of Spyro series, because, I don't know, I never got into it. Because I did see a few family members at the time, back in, like, what was it, 2009? 2010? It's been quite a while since I've last even seen gameplay of any Legend of Spyro game. Because the one where, like, you meet Cinder and everything, yeah, I think that's the only time where I saw, like, full gameplay of it. Because, it reminded me of Titans in a way, like the Mutant series of Crash, because, like, it's kind of a reboot, but it's not at the same time, but with Spyro's case, it retells the entire story in a new universe.
Yeah. While in Crash's case, it was very different. That's something funny about me personally, is that I prefer the newer Crash games, and then when Spyro, like, I really didn't like the newer games. Like, I didn't really like the Legend series, except for Dawn of the Dragon.
Wait, is that the third game?
Yeah, that's the third one.
It kind of resembles, like, the title, Dawn of the Dragon, Year of the Dragon. It just resembles the number 3 for some reason.
You're right, yeah, it does.
And I think, I think A New Beginning is the first game, right? What was the second game? I don't even remember that.
The second game was The Eternal Night.
Eternal Night. I saw a DS port of that. It wasn't so hot.
Yeah. The less I say about The Eternal Night, the better.
I guess it's like the least fond game in one of the 3 in the Legend series.
On a universal scale, no, not really. A lot of people actually really like The Eternal Night, but then again, those are the people who like the Legend series in general, because they were interested in the story, which I was not. But
I mean, the only thing that interested me from the Legend series is when Sparks' voice changes throughout every game.
Yeah, that is funny. It's weird, but, you know, it's kind of funny. I don't think Sparks should talk in general, but it was interesting. But yeah, I've mentioned before why I don't like Legend in comparison to the original, but also there are other things that I have brought up more recently that I think paint a better picture of why I don't like it. It's just because it takes away so much of, like, the core gameplay, like what I knew, what I found fun, and it turned it into something that I just did not find fun at all. Like, I don't think Spyro should be a beat-em-up. It just doesn't seem right. I think, you know, mashing buttons constantly, like, trying to get a combo is just kind of boring gameplay, and it's very repetitive, and I have no interest in that type of game.
Legend of Spyro God of War Edition.
That's exactly what it's like, really.
Really? I
Yeah.
see it as like a Sonic Unleashed mini ripoff in a way, because even Sonic Unleashed, like the night stages, where he plays the Werehog. It's kind of like the same concept in a way. Well, I guess that and God of War.
Yeah, I think more Dawn of the Dragon was seen as a God of War type game, which after I played God of War, I realized that, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it is kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I would say that, like, in the Legend series, and compared to the original, I don't see it as great. But I can see it why it's likable, because of the story.
Yeah, I understand that, and if anyone likes the story, good for them. I just personally couldn't get into it. I also couldn't get into the difficulty spikes in the game and the repetitiveness of the gameplay, the mashing buttons. I said this recently. I said, imagine the frog cave in Misty Bog, but that's the entire game.
Wow.
That is Legend of Spyro to me. And I will always stand by that. I was like, okay, that is actually a really good analogy. I'm just gonna use that from now on.
Wait. It's a pretty good analogy for describing an entire game in a single level. If you want to play the Legend of Spyro series, go back to Spyro 1 and just play Misty Bog.
Just play Misty Bog, yeah. The whole game is Misty Bog, and that's mostly referring to the Eternal Night, which I didn't really play a lot of because I got bored within the first few minutes of the game. However, I've heard the difficulty spikes in that game are just absolutely ridiculous. It's insane, it's bullshit, it gets way too hard to play.
No, damn. It's kind of a gem when games are that difficult in the pre-2010s, Because now everything is basically child-friendly and kid-friendly and everything. A perfect example would be the Ratchet and Clank reboot, where they just completely twist the story into being partially kid-friendly. Well, more or less, basically kid-friendly.
You're right, that's exactly what it is. The story, especially, I noticed that a lot. I was like, this doesn't really make sense. As much as I enjoyed the movie because of, how entertaining it was, that's the only word I'm gonna use. I thought it was fun and entertaining. I still think the story is complete crap.
You did watch it pretty recently, didn't you?
Oh, I saw it in theaters.
Oh, wait, is it still showing in theaters?
No.
Oh, that was... Because I saw you tweet about a movie, like, yesterday, I think. What was that movie?
Yeah, it was the Ratchet and Clank movie, because I watched it recently because I am gonna do a review on it.
Oh.
Yeah. But basically, and then people were saying, like, oh, just play the PS4 game instead, it's just the movie, because it has all the cutscenes from the movie, which, like, and then I'm telling everyone, I did all of this, like, 3 years ago, guys. I got the game, I saw the movie in theaters, I did all of that around the time they both came out. I saw the movie, I thought it was fun, I liked it for what it was. I played the game, and I didn't think it was as fun as the movie, because I felt it was a condensed version of the film. And even though it gave you the illusion of it having more, and you doing more, it still just kind of fell flat with me. It was mediocre.
Yeah, I would say it was pretty mediocre. To be honest, anything after Nexus or Into the Nexus depends on the region, I guess. I don't know, I just feel like the Future series as a whole it's a really well thought out universe, but it's kind of sad seeing it go,
Yeah.
And again, we don't really... Sorry. I would say, like, if they're gonna do Ratchet and Clank 2 remake/remaster, whatever the hell it is, remake, I guess, I would say they have to keep on par with the story, because if they twist the story like this, it wouldn't really go anywhere. It'll just fall flat exactly with the first reboot,
Yeah. It's not... As much as I want to see them continue, just so they can, get to going commando and then up your arsenal, I definitely want to see them reboot Up Your Arsenal just so I can tear it apart in comparison to the original, because that is one of my favorite games ever.
Funny notion. I never played any Ratchet and Clank game besides the first one and Nexus.
Well then.
I've not played Quest of Booty. I've not played a Kraken. Well, actually, I do own a Kraken Time and Tools of Destruction. I never played Up Your Arsenal or Going Commando or Deadlocked.
Who cares about Deadlocked? I know that's a universally loved game, but I really don't give a shit about that game. I don't like the gameplay. Again, I thought it was repetitive, boring. It just takes place in an arena the entire time. Didn't like the villain. Was not a fan. And then there's Full Frontal Assault, which that game is just abysmal. But yeah, definitely I would say play Going Commando, play Up Your Arsenal especially, play Tools of Destruction and A Crack in Time. I never played Quest for Booty because I think wasn't that like a PSN only thing? It was like downloadable only, so I never got that.
I'm not really sure though, but I did see a few clips from Going Commando and Up Your Arsenal and was it Quest for Booty? I think it was Quest for Booty. I don't know, right? Compared to like Jak and Daxter, Spyro, and Crash, Ratchet and Clank is like all in. Cause you actually hear Ratchet swearing.
Yeah, that is true. It's very different. Oh, Insomniac, you really went the extra mile there.
That's what makes these kind of games pretty well loved at the time. Even with Spyro. Like, yes, that's what makes the first Spyro, the original one at best. Like, you know, I just love how they made him really obnoxious. It just shows how the character really is. And it's the same for Ratchet and Clank as well.
It really is. They love doing that. They're just like, yeah, let's make our character like really just an asshole in the first one. And it's like, oh yeah, well nobody likes that, so let's just change his personality slightly so he's a little bit nicer.
And then there's the reboot of Ratchet.
And then there's the reboot where he's just a goody two-shoes all the time, and I'm just like, really? That's... no.
And then they removed one of my favorite planets of all time. What was it? Orxon or something? It's like that gassy planet.
Orxon was pretty cool. It was scary. That was a scary planet.
It really is. it reminds me of like the machinery levels in Crash 1 and I guess Beastmakers and such in Spyro 1.
It is like Beastmakers, now that I think about it, you're right.
I guess, like, in a way, I would say Spyro alone and Crash leads to many other games. That's what makes these kind of games just mash in together perfectly. Because right now, only Crash and Spyro are like a very well mixed duo. In 2019 now.
Yeah. They're together again. Maybe we'll have a remake of their fusion GBA titles.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. I never played them, so I have no say, but I heard they were terrible.
I mean, the Crash game, it's okay, but oh my god, the Spyro game. Bro, what part of a Spyro game... In what way is a Spyro game where you control a bloody Jeep with a rocket launcher?
I know, that's just... I mean, look, Spyro games have some vehicles in them. Great. But that's just going too far. That's... You know what? I think Enter the Dragonfly may have done that. I think you control like a tank or something in one part.
Really?
Yeah, I think they may have done that.
I don't... I think, like, as far as I remember, Enter the Dragonfly has, like, what, 10, 11 levels in the game? And I've never heard of a tank challenge.
I don't know, that's what I heard. It was definitely some kind of vehicle stage that was really ridiculous. I know there's that UFO one.
I don't recall any
where you, like,
minigame.
pick up the cows or something like that. My friends always talk about that. They're just like, well, what about that one mission with the cows in the space? And I'm like, sure, I don't know.
Is that not Spyro 3? Spyro 3's Country Speedway?
It actually is Country Speedway. I'm pretty sure it's that kind of setting. They just like used it for like a whole level. Crop Circle Country. That was it.
Crop Circle. Oh my god. That is a tongue twister for a level name.
Yeah, I barely remember any levels from Enter the Dragonfly, but some of them just come to me. Oh my god, it's been so long since I played it. It's been so long since I've had that game in my possession that I barely remember anything about it.
In a way, it's kind of a gem at the same time, the game. Because I'm kind of glad I didn't play it on release. But it's one of those games where it, like, reminds you of Boom Bang.
I've never played Boom Bang either. Please tell me about what a horrible experience that was, because I've heard things about it.
Oh god. It wasn't bad, but I just feel bad for the testers. The credits. I just feel so terrible, because when I saw the whole list of developers and playtesters and everything, I was like, oh my god, I feel so bad for these people for going through this game.
Yeah.
And then you see Enter the Dragonfly with Hunter's iconic wow. Which reminds me, like, did they use the original models of the first, like, 3 games? And then just ported a crappy one into PlayStation 2?
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they did. They look like pretty much the same models, just like, you know, done in a very crappy PS2 style. Especially Bianca's model. I don't know what is up with her design, but for some reason she's wearing red, and everybody just looks like complete ass in that game, especially Ripto with his elongated mouth expressions. I don't even know what he's doing half the time.
Oh my god, you just reminded me of the many pictures I still have saved in my computer. It's just Ripto's eyeballs and jaw, like, just, it's pretty game-breaking.
Yeah. I'm just like, who animated this? What were they thinking?
It really makes me appreciate Wrath of Cortex even more.
I've never played Wrath of Cortex. I've heard mixed things about it. Like, I've heard it was really bad. I've heard that it wasn't as bad as people remember. And then I've heard people say it's good. I don't know.
It's pretty much a Crash 3, like, copy. It's basically a carbon copy of Crash 3, but
yes,
it gives out that unique aspect where every level is pretty much unique. Cause, like, I don't know, that's just what makes it feel like kind of special in a way. Cause it used to be slightly open world in a way, cause, you know, beta footage and everything. It shows that, and then you see the final product, the final product, and you ask yourself, what the hell is this? This isn't what I saw.
Yeah, I think I've seen some of those beta pictures or whatever. It was very weird.
Yeah, because someone hacked the game, and then they found so many levels cut out from the game. And then literally the worst part of the game, the worst 2 parts about the game is, like, the monkey bars, or, like, the ceiling grids, where you use it pretty much in, like, you know, Eel Deal and everything in Crash 2. It's so slow. You can make popcorn and you'll still be going through it. It was like, that slow. Done yet?
Oh my god.
And then the second most useless thing is tiptoeing as a power-up ability.
That is pretty useless, I've gotta admit. I've seen that and I'm like, really? That kinda seems stupid. I mean, you can walk on Nitro, great, but why?
It's only beneficial in 2 bonus rounds in the entire game.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine an ability used for 2 levels throughout the game?
Oh my god. That is my problem with abilities in general. Cause, like, I feel like some games, like, you get abilities, and then you just end up not using them. Whereas in a game like Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, which I just played and finished fairly recently, you use every single ability that you get, and sometimes, like, in conjunction with one another, too. It really tests your skills. It's a fantastic game. I love it.
That is also a really good point at what makes future tense in Crash 3 specifically. Like, it just drives you to have every single ability and use it. Like, it just makes you put the power-ups into good use.
Yes.
And that kind of shows, like, I think Vicarious Visions and Toys for Bob as well. It just shows that they have potential at making something completely new for both Crash and Spyro.
Yes, they do. I really hope that Vicarious Visions can make a completely new Crash game based on what they did with Future Tense. I think they can do a pretty good job.
I'm just waiting for my Spyro mod where we play Future Tense as Spyro. Just fly throughout the level endlessly.
Oh my gosh, that's that sounds so fun.
I would just I want to see it. I just want to see a Crash Insane Trilogy mod where you play as Spyro with Spyro's controls and everything from Reignited. That'd be amazing.
Really would.
I would say like my favorite game of all time. I really would say Spyro 3. I would say Hero's Tale, but I guess barely anyone likes that game.
Well, doesn't mean it can't be your favorite. I mean, even if nobody likes it.
You see, because the gems are, used for basically just currency in a way.
Right.
Very identical to, the fusion game of Crash and Spyro on Game Boy. It's pretty much similar. You use gems and surprisingly Wumpa Fruit as a currency.
Yeah.
That's pretty much a first. Because, using your own things that you collect as currency, it's kind of a weird. It's kind of a weird way to use that kind of thing. And then you see Hero's Tale literally using that. It's like, but that's not what made Spyro. You have the light gems and I guess dragon eggs and everything, and then you come off and see the Sergeant Bird challenges and Blink's challenges.
Oh,
the Sparks challenges are reminiscent of the Spyro 3, but Blink and Sergeant Bird are a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that's what I have heard. It is very weird how you use the gems as purely currency, because they were sort of used like that in 2 and 3, of course, but it was also about, just collecting them to get 100%. They were also an 100% item rather than just currency.
Yeah, I would say I kind of agree. And then, what was that challenge again in the fusion game? The final boss. No, every victory screen in Spyro. As soon as you finish a level, because in the fusion game, if you want to get everything 100% with all the cards and everything, you had to literally play one level 3-4 times until
oh yeah, I remember that.
Until the portal becomes red or something. I can't exactly remember. I haven't played the game in a while. But you literally had to play one level multiple times just to get 100%. And that is so aggravating to do. Imagine a flight level where the camera's on top and you just move left and right. And then just press B. Press B. Press B. Press B. Endlessly. It's basically just crashes levels. In such a shitty angle.
Oh my god. It's here's this flight level. Press B. Now do it 3 million times.
3 million times in a different camera angle.
It's just why? Why though?
I would really say the only GBA games where I maybe it would be a good idea is having the fusion games, because that would be a really good, a next gen title, and also a crossover between Crash and Spyro.
Yeah. I definitely want to see a Reignited and Sane crossover, because I think with them and their new versions, something good can come out of it, probably.
I'd say I think already it did happen in a way, because you see Spyro flying over in Toad Village, and then you see Crash just looking up for was it Thanksgiving or Christmas? I can't really remember.
I think that was Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah. I don't know. When I saw Spyro flying, I was like, wait, what? Why is Spyro retweeted into... why is Crash retweeted into Spyro's Twitter? And then I see Spyro flying up in Toad Village. I would really say, in the future, since, Toys for Bob and Vivi are going back and forth with Crash and Spyro, I would say, development-wise, I can see Vicarious Visions doing a good Spyro game, but, would I really trust them with Spyro after what they did with Fusion? Because I think that's the only Spyro game that they actually developed.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And then you see Toys for Bob, going from Spyro and Skylanders into a full-fledged remaster. It's wow, that takes some guts into remaking a very, from a development standpoint, I can see why Reignited was very difficult to make. That's why they had to like expand to multiple studios, as seen in the credits. And I guess like the only thing that leaves it at that is Skylanders. I have zero, besides Skylanders Imaginators, where they revealed the Crash remaster at the time back in E3 2016. I have zero knowledge, completely zero knowledge of Skylanders.
That's fine.
All I know is that they just use figures for every new game, and it's basically the pinnacle of microtransactions.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. It's just like, hey, spend your money to play this game. Keep spending your money.
It's kind of what makes the Miiverse in, like, the Super Mario games and everything. It also what makes them kind of unique, because you can still use the characters you have, but if the ones in Skylanders die out, oh no, you have to go buy a new one for like $20.
I know, you're right. Oh my god. And that's why I stopped getting Skylanders games.
Really? What was the last Skylanders game you got?
I only got Spyro's Adventure.
But is it really about Spyro's Adventure?
No, it's Stealth Elf's Adventure featuring Spyro.
Stealth Ops Adventure? What the fuck?
Go listen to episode 21 of SpyroCast to get the reference to that joke.
I actually did hear the podcast.
Okay, good.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good, not gonna lie. But in the what was the last Skylanders game? Imaginators? Yeah, Imaginators.
I think it was Imaginators, yeah.
Was there like a shift of... Oh yeah, there was a shift of... between Spyro's model from like literally Spyro's Adventure into Imaginators. Damn.
Yeah.
I would say Imaginators Spyro is good in the TV show and Imaginators only. I would not consider that Abomination in Spyro's Adventure Spyro, because holy crap, I'm sorry, but it looks ugly. He looks better in the TV series than he does in the game.
Yeah,
because like he makes fun of Crash and wears his bloody sneakers.
Yeah, he definitely... his model definitely improved over time, but I don't really see it only because he still kind of has the same shape to him and still doesn't really look like Spyro. But people hating Skylanders solely for Spyro's design, I think, is a very shallow reason to dislike the franchise. And also, he did not look that great in Legend of Spyro either. I think he looked very ugly with that squiggly mouth.
I know what you mean with that. Oh my god. Which reminds me though, I would say like, it's a good thing that I think I'm not sure, but I think they're enforcing the TV show to be based around Spyro, which is a good thing, because if one iconic character is involved in another universe, and then you bring an entirely new character, aka Crash and Coco, it just makes everything fit in together in that universe.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, I would say like my history with Spyro it's very, very big. Just from one tiny ass demo, it just made me expand throughout the whole games. Even on gameplays, pretty much, without even playing the game. Even just watching the story and listening to the songs and everything. It just makes you feel like, hey, I like this video game character. I'm gonna play the rest of the games.
Right. I didn't get into a whole lot of games through demos, but a lot of people did discover Spyro through Crash, and for that, I am very glad.
Indeed, indeed.
Alright, well, we're coming up on the 50-minute mark, so I think I'm gonna end it here.
Wow.
Yes, we have been talking for that long, wow.
I think this is the longest podcast, isn't it?
My first podcast lasted for over an hour.
Oh wow, okay, never mind.
I usually cut them when we get to the 40-minute mark, so I can get it to around 20-something, maybe a half hour or so. But I'll see what I can do with this. Maybe it'll be about 40 minutes when I chop things down. So, anyway, thank you so much, Abdul, for being my guest.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure being on this podcast.
And thank you, all of you out there, for listening. Of course, don't forget to subscribe and follow me on Twitter. And I will see you in the next SpyroCast. Until then, this is me, Haru, signing off.
Bye.